Hey, this is Don totally with the first session of Listen or Lose L.O.L, where you're going to lose until you listen, and when you listen, you'll win. The whole purpose of all of these segments is to inspire people to be the best person that they could be and to really understand that, we're all facing challenges, we all have issues, so we have to take it upon ourselves to be proactive in trying to be the best person that we can be, and what I come to understand is that most people aren't the best version of them because they're only the version of them that they have allowed in, meaning they aren't good listeners. And what happens is that if you only listen to yourself, there's only so much growth that's possible because in actuality, most times we even lie to ourselves. We will try to convince ourselves to do things that we really know that we shouldn't do. But if we listen to other people, they'll give us that advice and say, hey, man, this may not be the best thing that you need to do. But, oftentimes we don't listen to people because we don't want to do the right thing. So we really have to understand that if growth is important to us and being the best version of us is the desired result, we have to find a way to challenge ourselves to be the best listeners that's possible, because what happens is that when you start to listen to others, you really start to expand your growth. And most people don't understand, why they hit this plateau and they can't go any further in life. And the reason is they've only allowed the information in their life that could help them get to that point, and that's it. So, and that's maybe based on just their mental capacity, where that's as much as they know, and they only allow people to communicate with them on a level of comfort. And what I mean by comfort is, some people will only allow people to talk to them if they're telling them exactly what they want to hear. So a lot of people want just yes men around or yes women around. And what happens if people are always, agreeing with you and not challenging your thoughts and not encouraging you to look at things from a different perspective, you only stay on one level. So it's important to really understand that you need to start to listen to other people, accept that collective criticism, because most times it's not even criticism. It's just an observation or viewpoint that someone else has been able to, you know, look at you and see that you are incapable of seeing. And it doesn't mean that, they're any better than you. They just mean that they got a different viewpoint than you, that if you take the time to really listen and understand what those people are saying, you'll get to a different point in your life. And I can truly say, I wouldn't be the man I am today if I didn't listen to people. As long as, I was on my path of just being me, and not really wanting to listen to people, thinking that I know everything in life, I suffered tremendously and I really wasn't happy. Once I really embraced the notion that people could actually help me and that they had information that I didn't, and that information that they had is actually what I needed to be successful. I, really humbled myself and opened myself up to being, receptive to information. And with that receptiveness to information came a tremendous amount of knowledge that has been able to help propel me and put me in a different place in life, and I really encourage people to really, stop standing in their own way, hindering their own growth, um, because they don't want to listen. It's extremely important to be able to take advice, and you also have, so many people that want everyone to hear them, or listen to them, but they don't want to listen to anybody. And then when they do listen, they're really not listening for the sake of retaining that information. They're really just looking for an opportunity to interject and have that person, listen to them even more. So it's extremely important to understand if you are that type of person where, you really don't want to listen, you really just want to be heard. You got to really recognize that that's a problem. And any problem has a solution, but you have to be willing to work through that solution and then really start to step back and say, okay, well, let me really listen without trying to respond. You know, go into that conversation with the notion that you're not going to respond. The only thing that you want to do is really retain that information. And when you start to do that, you'll really notice how things will shift. And most people in life always will listen to people, or sometimes they don't listen to people, and that's really the problem. But typically everyone wants everyone else to change, and they will give advice for everyone else to change, but they're not willing to change themselves. And really, the best way to cause change is to be the change. So in every relationship, if you'll start to, just step back, analyze the relationship and say, you know what, if I want this kind of change, I'm going to take it upon myself to take onus for that change. So what you'll do then is you'll start to do the things necessary to change within you, and as you start to change within you, not for that person, but for you, what you'll notice is that person will start to come around. They'll start to see that change in you, and then you'll notice a change in them, but the change has to be genuine. It can't be a change on a timetable where you say, oh, I'm gonna be this way for this week. And if they don't act a certain way, or they don't come around and start to change and show me the change, then you're going to stop that. That's not what it is. It's one that when you're committed to that change, what you'll notice is that those other people will start to change, and you'll start to really develop healthy relationships. So that's the first segment of Listen or Lose, LOL. There'll be many more. Until next time, tuning out.